Kids, today I'm going to teach you about how to create an APA bibliography. Okay, step number 1. Make a list of all the items that you've used during your research. Keep a track of them. Okay, write them down on a piece of paper, on a post-it, I don't care. But make sure you have all the resources that you've used. Okay? In order to create an APA bibliography, you got to collect such items, such as you have to know the author's name, okay, the title of publication, the date of publication, place of publication. Okay, wait, there's more. Hold up. You have to know which company published the book. You have to know the number of which page numbers you've used. And you have to know the authors and editors' names, and if you're using a website, you have to know the web address. Okay, it's very important to get all these information. Okay. Now there are different types of sources that you can use. So to create a book bibliography, this is the format. First, you must know the author's last name, followed by a comma. And then you have to know the first initial of the author. And inside parentheses, you must put the publication date. And then next to that, you must put the book title, additional info, city of publication, and the publishing company. And here are some examples. So for example, this is Alan T. or T. Allen. And the publication date was 1974. The book's title was Vanishing Wildlife of North America. Additional info, there is none. So the city of publication was Washington, D.C. And the publishing company would be National Geographic Society. And the same follows for these two as well. So there's Borston D. The book was The Creators, A History of the Heroes. And it was published in New York. Or the city of publication was New York, and the publishing company was Random House. Okay. Now, you can also use an encyclopedia, or a dictionary. To format one of these, you also must have the author's last name, first initial, the date in parentheses as well, the title of the article, the title of the encyclopedia, the volume or pages, city of publication, and publishing company. For example, for this person, P. Bergman, her first initial, or hers first initial was a P. Bergman is his last name. Published in 1993. The title of the encyclopedia was Relativity in the New Encyclopedia Britannica. It was volume 26, page 501 to 508, and the city of publication was Chicago, and the publishing company would be Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, same applies for these two. So for a dictionary, this is what you do. You write the dictionary's name, what edition was it. For example, this was the 10th edition. What year was published? So it was 1993. What city of publication it was, so it would be Springfield, and the publishing company would be Merriam-Webster. Okay. Now you can also use a magazine or a newspaper article in order to as a resource or a source for your research. For this, the format would be same as always: author's last name, the first initial, the publication date as well, the article title, periodical title, the volume number, or if there's an issue number if available, and the pages that you've used. For example, for this one, his name would be, his or her name was, the first initial was an H, and the last name is Harlow, and the article title was Fundamentals for Preparing Psychology Journal. The periodical title was Journal of Comparative and Psychological Psychology, and its volume number was 55, and the person used pages 893 to 896. And the same apply for these two as well. And lastly, the last source that you can probably use would be a website or a web page. And in order to use one of these, so for the format of an online periodical, all you need is the author's last name, the first initial, the publication date, article title, the title of periodical, volume number, the retrieved month, day, year, and you have to have the full form of the URL. Okay? And for an online document, you need the author's name, date of publication, title of work, retrieved month, day, year from full URL. Okay? So for example, this one is T. Devitt. His or her first name starts with a T and her last name's Devitt. The publication date was 2001, August 2nd. The article title would be Lightning Injuries 4 at Museum Festival. That would be the article title. The title of the periodical was The Y Flies. And it's retrieved January 23rd, 2002. And this would be the URL for the article. And the same thing applies for these two. For example, this is also his or her first name starts with a R. Last name is Dove. The article title or the publication date was 1998. The article title was Lady Freedom Among Us. Title of periodical was the Electronic Text Center. Okay. And it was retrieved in January 1998 from the Alderman Library, and this would be the website. Okay, and the very last step, which is very important, okay, you do not want to miss out on this, okay? Okay, oh God, where is it? Okay, so basically the very last thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you have to alphabetize all of the articles by last name of the authors, okay? That is very important. The most important thing to do is alphabetize all of the authors by last names, okay? And that is basically how you create an APA bibliography.